I think that the price cuts is just a rip-off and an injustice to every cocoa farmer in the country.
Really?
Of course. And the reason is simple. Cocoa farmers grow their cocoa. And the Ghana government makes a law that you can't sell the cocoa by yourself. Somebody produced this water, is selling it. The government of Ghana is not telling the person that you can't sell this yourself. When you go and harvest your plantain, cassava, maize, all other farm produce, the government of Ghana has no business telling you that you can't sell it to the international market yourself and that sell it to government for government to go and sell for you. So by that law, the country has prevented cocoa farmers from getting the full amount for their produce. We've implemented this policy for decades. And one of the promises in that policy is that we have been giving cocoa farmers between 60 to 70% of the free on-board price, which means that when you buy the cocoa, the price at which it's sold on the international market, we give 70% to the farmer. And the COCOBOD, which does not grow the cocoa, who does not own the cocoa, pocket the 30% of the amount from the world market. COCOBOD, just an institution set up, is not the one growing the cocoa, but it pockets 30% of the amount. And out of the money they pocket, they come up with all kinds of policies. Sometimes some government will come and say free fertilizer, some will come and say subsidized chemicals and fertilizers and all kinds of things that they say they have been using them 30% of the money they are pocketing for. And as part of that money they are keeping, one of the promises to the farmers is that they will get a guaranteed price through what we call forward sales. So when the cocoa is sold and the farmer gets 70%, COCOBOD pockets the 30%. The understanding is that when the price of cocoa even drops after the producer price is announced, that decline will not affect the cocoa farmer. It will not affect the cocoa farmer because the decision to use forward sales and the 30% COCOBOD is keeping to themselves is supposed to be a risk mitigation factor that in the event that the price of cocoa goes down even in the international market, after the farm gate price has been announced, the cocoa farmer should not suffer.
Right.
And this is the policy we have done all these years. So several governments have experienced cocoa being sold below the agreed price after the producer price has been announced. But the governments have to absorb the difference because the promise is that the decline should not affect the cocoa farmer. The same time, if the price goes up, the cocoa farmer doesn't even benefit. But if COCOBOD, at the time the price has gone up, still have some bins that it has not actually given a sign off under the forward sales, but decide to maybe keep a percentage that it will sell under spot sales, it means that COCOBOD actually makes more money.
True.
When the price should skyrocket. So for government to decide that they are going to reduce the price of cocoa after announcing the producer price, simply because price has gone down in the world market, the question is, so the 30% that COCOBOD has been taking, which is not their money, is the cocoa farmer's money. And the normal circumstance, if we allow the cocoa farmer to go and sell his or her own cocoa, just as somebody will go and sell their granite, their maize and everything, that 100% of whatever the price is going to the cocoa farmer. So the 30% that COCOBOD has been keeping all these years, the question is, what has happened to that money? Why is it that this time around we cannot mitigate the risk? Then what's the purpose of the cocoa farmer losing 30% to COCOBOD every year? So there are critical questions we must ask that nobody should say, why are the farmers complaining? We have shortchanged the farmers for too long. Every year, COCOBOD by just law takes 30% of the amount from the world market and gives 70% to the cocoa farmer. So if there is a drop this time round, there's no reason, there's no justifiable reason why the farmer should take a hit.
Will the farmer be able to on their own sell on the international market?
Who said they can't sell? Why? Don't we have so many products people sell to the international market? Even what do you call it? Metals. The rotten metals that the boys
scrap
do.
metals.
The scrap metals. Are people not exporting it to countries outside this country and making money? So who said that they can't sell the cocoa to the market themselves? There are so many products in this country people export to the international market and make money. People sell their palm oil to the international market. Who determines that a percentage of the money should go to somebody? So you see, for me, if the farmer is to take a hit, then it means that we have to just close down COCOBOD, okay? So that the farmer sells his own cocoa, so that when the price goes down, the farmer knows that nobody is taking any money from what I am gaining. It is the world market that has gone down. Do you understand it? And then when the price goes up, the farmer also takes the benefit. Then the farmer knows that I am exposed to the full risk of price drop and increase on the international market.
Right.
But when we have a process and a system that should have mitigated the risk for the cocoa farmer, and now there's a price decline, and that system is unable to offer that risk, I believe that we have not been fair to the cocoa farmer. And I believe and trust that the government is listening. I think that if the NDC government wants to have any chance in the next elections, they should reconsider this decision. Because governments in the past have actually absorbed cocoa price decline and giving the cocoa farmer what they are due. But if for the first time in my recent memory, and some of the cocoa farmers said they've never seen some before, that the price will decline to that level, and now you are passing on the decline to the farmer, I think that to me it's unfair, because for several years, for decades, COCOBOD has been taking 30% of money that they didn't work for. It is not their product. The farmers do their own farm, get their beans, and by law, you just take 30% of all their money every year. So if we have consistently taken 30% of cocoa farmers their money every year, how come that if there's a price decline, we are saying that they can't benefit from it? When we agree the farm gate price, okay, it is accumulation. They call it the average price. So it means that they look at the previous years, how much cocoa was sold, they put the figures together, and they determine the average price.
Right.
And so, okay, this is the average price cocoa has been sold, and therefore the farm gate price is going to be like this. And then if you do the forward sales, you have actually sold the cocoa ahead of time because you agreed with international buyers and picked the international loans to be able to pay for it. So if we have been doing all these things, and for the first time, now we are actually shortchanging cocoa farmers by these margins, it is to me an injustice to the cocoa farmer. And as I said, if we have decided that the cocoa farmer should take the risk, then the cocoa farmer should also take the full benefit of the total amount of the world market. Right. So in that case, if cocoa goes to 10,000, the cocoa farmer gets 10,000 for a ton of cocoa. If it comes to 1,000, the cocoa farmer knows that it is 1,000. That's what I'm selling it. But in a situation where at any price that the cocoa is sold, COCOBOD is taking 30% of that amount, it's the worst thing we have done to cocoa farmers. Right. This time, the justification is that the new price is 90% of the FOB price. My friend, it is not justifiable, because the last increase 2024, 2025, 4,200 was the average price used for a ton. Yeah. But the farmers got 3,100. We are getting 4,200, the same amount in dollars this time round, and the farmer is getting 2,587. See, we should not do things that will make the cocoa farmer angry to a point where cocoa will lose its strength in Ghana. Because see, cocoa has been the backbone of this economy for so many years. So I think that whatever it takes, if we want to protect cocoa, and we all know the impact Galamsey and the rest are having, I think that the cocoa farmer does not deserve this hit. Government should reverse the decision. Let them take the money. Government should find money and pay. And government should make sure that COCOBOD make good use of the 30% that is been keeping, which is farmers their money. It's not COCOBOD's money. All right. It is farmers their money that you have been keeping, that you are the regulator of the sector, and that you are going to provide certain support to the farmers. For that reason, you want to keep 30%. 30% of cocoa sales in a year, my brother, it's a lot of money. Look at the amounts we are being told. We are being told that have even been paid, even in all these difficulties. COCOBOD is saying that they paid about 45 billion for the cocoa beans they are bought already. Yet we are still saying that there's a huge quantity to be bought. If you look at the amount that we are talking about, and COCOBOD every year keeps 30% of that money, why is it that COCOBOD should be broke? Why are we being told that COCOBOD is A, B, C, D? Because people have turned COCOBOD into a procurement center, and then they are making money, and the farmer is the one that is suffering.
All right,
and therefore, for me, there's no justification at all. There's no justification at all for this reduction. I think that the 3,600 should be given to the farmer. Government should find money to make sure that the difference is paid. All the 30% COCOBOD has been keeping, government should make sure that that 30%, the money comes from there to pay for the difference.
All right, thank you. Doc.